he is Reed. L.A. Reed has been serving locally here as our president and also provincially. So Reed, would you come and give us some directions for, I'd say our country, but for this before this meeting? Thank you.
Well, we're hoping to take care of the province in May and the country later on. So we won't worry about the province and the country today, but we sure will be concerned about this riding and the fact that we need a real alternative for people to vote for. Far too long we've had nobody but liberals and New Democrats to vote for, and those of us who are conservative-minded individuals have had a tough time with that. But those days are over with, and here today we are prepared to start making history. This is a very historical meeting. At the end of it, we will have nominated and put into place the very first BC Conservative candidate in this riding. So that's making history, and you're all part of it. So give yourselves a hand. The BC Conservative Party has been going for several years now. There has been a Conservative Party in this province many, many years ago, but recently in its most latest resurrection, the BC Conservative Party has been going for about 3 years. And we have a strong organization across the province. And actually one of the strongest areas in the province is North Vancouver Island. North Vancouver Island is one of the strongest areas for BC Conservatives in the province. And you might find that a little bit strange because it's always been considered NDP country, but let's take a look, folks. It's not going to be NDP country forever. And we are going to make inroads into this area. And this weekend is historic. This is the second nomination meeting to be held. There'll be another one in Parksville tomorrow afternoon. And we're starting to move ahead. The purpose of today's meeting is to draw to conclusion a bringing together all of you to nominate a candidate. There's been a process in place, and we looked for people out there to become part of the party and to run for candidacy, and we've come to a point today where we have John Sherry placed in nomination as the candidate. According to the rules and procedures of the party, even when there's an acclamation, we have to have a meeting. You as party members, who are members of this party in this riding, have the opportunity democratically to affirm John in his position as the candidate. And that's what we're here to do today. And so what we will do is we will hear from those who are going to place John's name into nomination. We will hear from John himself. Then we will hear from our leader, John Cummins. John's here today. Let's give him a hand. So that's the agenda for the day, and we're going to get right to it. So I'm going to ask first that Al Sebring come forward and introduce John. John Sherry. We have a lot of Johns in this party.
Good afternoon, folks. John Sherry gave me a bio. It's a whole long sheet and it's really boring, so I'm not going to read it. But I have to say that I am, you've heard this before, people say I'm honored to be here. I truly am honored to stand before you today to introduce John Sherry. You're going to hear from him in a few minutes, you're going to hear from our leader in a few minutes, but you know what? When you walk away from this meeting, I want you to remember, if nothing else, one word. And that word is bacon. Have you heard of the difference between involvement and commitment. It's epitomized in a plate of bacon and eggs. The chicken is involved. The pig is committed. John Sherry is committed. I've known him for a couple of years now. He was the regional director for the North Island District, which is everything from Malahat to Port Hardy. In that capacity, I sat with him on the provincial board. And you know, when John was at the provincial board, he always had a lot of good ideas, but for John, it wasn't about the politics. John and I have spent, our wives might say, too many hours, sitting in the Saltaire pub, enjoying some adult beverages and having conversations. And the conversations are never about the weather or the wife or the kids, and they're not even about politics. They're about improving the lives of British Columbia. How can we make this province a better place to live? That is what I know of John Sherry in terms of his commitment. And he's committed. Bacon. Don't forget it. Bacon. He's committed to community. Those of you who are around here know of John from his sort of other life. This past Christmas, for the third year running, whatever it was, he did the turkey drive and the Christmas hamper extravaganza. I think 117 turkeys this year, and gift packs and stuff for people so that they could have a Christmas morning and a Christmas dinner when they otherwise might not have had that opportunity. That, ladies and gentlemen, is commitment. It's John Sherry. I should tell you a little bit about, if you don't know him, what his background is. John's married. Haley, his wife over there, is probably his biggest supporter, along with his two girls, Luca and Romy. John grew up here in the Valley, spent his early years working as a branch industrial manager for a major environmental services company. They transferred him to Prince George, lived there for a while, then he moved to Calgary, got into the real estate business with his brother Tom. He's still sort of involved in that as a consultant, managing some commercial and industrial real estate portfolios, investment portfolios, but his primary source of income today is working with a company called Expo Crete. If you're familiar with Allen Block, they do that kind of stuff, a lot of sort of industrial landscape type things. He works with major projects, hospitals, school construction, high-rises, $1 million stuff. This man knows how to balance a budget. He understands things like the bottom line. In addition to all of those things, John's also a part-time student at VIU, and he's enrolled to take a leadership training course down at Royal Roads College of Victoria starting next. How do you find time for all this stuff? Bacon and the Energizer Bunny. I don't know how he does it. Folks, John is committed. He's committed to his party, but most of all, he's committed to community. I would be honored to nominate John Sherry for the position candidate for Nanaimo North Cowichan for the BC Conservative Party, but there's a problem. My membership is not in this riding. I'm down in the Cowichan Valley, so I'm going to have to get somebody to make the official motion to nominate John Sherry as the candidate. We have a nomination. We have a seconder. We have a seconder in Helen Blackmore. And
Helen is not in our writing.
Oh, no, you can't second like I can't nominate.
Jerry Reed.
Jerry Reed? Okay. Jerry Reed. We have a seconder. I'm not going to call the vote right now. Reed, I'll turn the meeting back over to you.